So I've got something a little bit different today. What it is basically wanted to focus it on Divinity. What I've noticed is when you use Divinity, a lot of players just seem to focus Divinity and that's just it, just Divinity the boss or the champion or whatever. But with this sort of way I'm doing is hopefully to show you another way how we can sort of not only provide a debuff to your team but increase your DPS by a large amount as well, therefore helping the team even more. So I think most people enjoy running Divinity, so this basically just a way to hopefully enhance that, make you want to use it a bit more as well and help your teammates even more. So what I've done is I've based it on Star Eater Scales, Silence and Squall, the Revenant Super, how we can sort of get that damage. So how sort of Star Eater Scales works is every orb that you create gives you a little bit more super energy than a normal orb whilst you've got Star Eater Scales on, and also when your super energy is full, picking up an orb of power overcharges your super, giving you a burst of healing as well. And then so basically what happens is once you've got these Star Eater Scales on, you'll get a buff on the bottom left of your screen called Feast of Light. So when that's at ×8, your super does like more damage, quite a lot more damage than it normally would. I believe it's like 30-40% with the Silence and Squall. I'm going to double check it and leave it in the comments. But like extra damage on your Silence and Squall. So while your Silence and Squall's ticking away on the target, you're also going to be applying the Divinity, which is another 30% debuff as well to the target. So that's also going to improve your DPS up. Obviously you're going to get your Silence and Squall, your Divinity, your Feast of Light ×8 going off your Star Eater Scales. While that's happening, we're going to be sticking a rocket launcher in there as well, an auto loading one while your Divinity is on. So that's like a massive increase on damage. I've got more clips to show you and I'm going to go more into the build. And then I'm running this one here, look, Stasis Siphon, Rapid Stasis Final Blows, create an orb of power. So all them orbs of power that I'm creating with Stasis, Rapid Stasis kills, and I'm running Forensic Nightmare, the Stasis submachine gun at the moment, and I crafted Enhanced Fresh on it. So with the Enhanced Fresh going on, which is quite nice, I've got some clips of that on its own as well. Without really trying, I was getting my super back quite quick in like 30 to 35 seconds just with the SMG. So basically with the Enhanced Fresh and the Stasis Siphon creating the orbs, and you get the extra super energy from the orbs via Star Eater Scales, it all works pretty nicely, gauge your super up really quick, and then you can use your Silence and Squall, Divinity and a rocket launcher on the boss. So we'll show you some clips and see what you think. So now what I'm doing, this is just the Stasis SMG with Enhanced Fresh, the Forensic Nightmare. I just wanted to show you the Enhanced Fresh working. It's quite nice, it's quite noticeable. It's not like hugely noticeable, but it's quite noticeable. You can see the chunks of energy I'm getting, and I'm also creating orbs with the Stasis Siphon mod as well, that I showed you on the helmet. So all my double kills that I'm getting with this Stasis SMG because of the Stasis Siphon, I'm also creating orbs. So the Fresh and the orbs that I'm picking up from Star Eater Scales all give me extra super energy than normal, so you get it quite quick. As you can see there, it was pretty quick. In this clip now, I'm just going to show you the sort of first sort of step, if you like, how you can sort of just increase your DPS while using Divinity, while keeping Divinity going on as well. Now Divinity is a 30% debuff to you and your teammates. It debuffs the enemy by 30%. Your ×8 Feast of Light going from your Star Eater Scales with your Revenant super, or whatever super you want to use, it just works better with Revenant. And then later on in the clips as well, what I've also got going on is I've also got High Energy Fire going and the Stasis Weapon Boost for my rocket launcher. I'm going to go more into the build, but I just sort of want to break it down into a few segments what I'm doing. So what I've got now is I've got a ×8 Feast of Light. What also you'll probably notice in there as well is all the orbs that I'm creating as well for your teammates as well. So you're creating plenty of orbs with the Stasis Siphon mod. I've got my ×8 Feast of Light. I'm just going to clear a few of these little adds up so I can just concentrate on the boss. So this is the sort of first sort of way. This alone increases your DPS while running Divinity anyway. So your Feast of Light ×8, which your super is going to do increased damage. Stick that to Cal, and then Divinity. So just that alone is a big increase. And then the next clip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that again, but I'm going to stick a rocket in at the same time, like so. So super times 8, we feast the light, a rocket in there, and I'm Divinity in. So just them clips alone, you can see there you've got like quite a big increase than what you normally would. Quite a lot. I mean, you've got 30% from Divinity. You've got your chargeable light, high energy fire going on the left hand side, and I've also got a stasis weapon boost from my rocket launcher going on as well. So rocket launcher, Divinity, chargeable light, times 8 feast the light, all going together. I will break the build down a little bit more, and I've also got some more clips versus Rulk and a few other targets as well. But hopefully you can sort of see what we're talking about, like how to increase your damage with Divinity. It's not just all about just sticking Divinity on the boss and doing nothing else. You can quite easily just sort of enhance that. So these are the last 2 clips now. Last couple of clips that I'm showing you, them elemental shards that are travelling towards me, that's giving me my chargeable light and my high energy fire, because I'm running elemental charge, and I'm also running elemental shards and Fontamite. So not only am I getting all my feast of light going, I'm getting 20% damage to my Divinity from charge with light, high energy fire, and I'm also getting a 25% damage buff to my Palmyra B, and that also benefits from high energy fire as well. So my rocket launcher gets a 45% damage buff, my Divinity is getting a 20% damage buff from high energy fire. I've got my feast of light all ticking away doing extra damage, and my Divinity is buffing out my rocket launcher as well. So as you can see, it's quite a lot of damage for a Divinity user. You can easily hit 1 to 1.2 million on one phase. I've done it a couple of times, so it's not bad for a Divinity user. 1.2, 1.3 mils, something like that, just by running this setup, sticking plenty of rockets in there. I'll show you the full build after this last clip. Just leave your comments and let me know what you think, if it's something you might think about running yourself. I think I missed that rocket there, to be honest, but never mind, I still did plenty of damage. In fact, I did more damage than a couple of guys on this team here, just running Divinity, rocket launcher and the feast of light. Star rated skills with a super. So I'm going to show you the build, let me know what you think. So this is now the full build to the Divinity setup that I'm running. To help my teammates out even more and put your own damage up. I'm going to leave the dim link in the comments, so keep an eye out for that if you just want to follow the dim link. Grim Harvest, defeating Slaughter frozen combatants creates stasis shards. They're the stuff in the clips, when you see them shards there travel towards me, and that's basically that's like the key element to the build. This one here, Grim Harvest. Can run that one if you want, just make your glacier grenades have an enhanced area and puts a crystal in there as well. Dustfield grenades is the one to run if you want to slow things all the time and kill the slowed enemies to create these shards. Fragments, you can sort of mix and match them to how you really want them. I like to run Whisper of Chains to get the extra recovery and the extra resilience. Now this one's really important on this build, Whisper of Impetus, because just hitting something with your stasis shuriken, that stasis melee will reload every single weapon that you've got and give you increased handling for so many seconds. It's a really good, really good fragment. Whisper of Impetus, it gives you instant reloads on all your guns. Whisper of Ram, collecting a stasis shard, grants a small amount of overshield. Whisper of Shards, shattering a stasis, temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate, so you get little crystals in your Dustfield grenades. If you run Touch of Winter, you can shatter them and get increased recharge rate on your grenade back. Whisper of Conduction, nearby stasis shards track your position. That's in the clips you've seen them coming towards me rather than running to them, they'll just travel towards me. And then the sort of mods that I'm running is Elemental Shards. That turns all them shards that you've seen and all we've talked about, they turn them into Elemental Wells. Makes the game think it's Elemental Wells. And then also what I'm running to take advantage of that is Elemental Charge. So every time I pick up them shards, it's going to make me charge with light. And then with that charge of light, I run High Energy Fire, which is a 20% damage buff to your weapons, all weapons. I also like to run Font of Wisdom as well. That's for the super gains, so you get increased super, even more increased super with star rated skills. Font of Might from the mobs, and your fresh all working together. Font of Wisdom, extra orb, superpower from Starity Scales, and the fresh all going on together. Really good. The last one is going to be Font of Might. This is the one that I run as well, because picking up one of them elemental shards, not only is it going to give me chargeable light, high energy fire, it's also going to give me 25% damage buff to my stasis weapons. And Font of Might and high energy fire stack together. So on your stasis rocket launcher, your Palmyra B, you're going to get a nice 45% damage buff flat out, plus whatever your divinity is getting, plus you're going to get super damage extra from your Starity Scales times 8. So all in all, it's a sort of multiplicative build. All the damage stacks up together, get massive numbers just from running Divinity. And I'll just touch this one again. Stasis Siphon, rapid stasis weapon, final blows create an orb of power for you and your teammates. So all in all, it's quite a synergized build, if you like. Everything sort of works together. I hope you found the video good. I'll leave the dim link in the comments, let me know what you think.